I want to give you 5 tips for closing more deals and making more money in your home service business. I do landscaping and window cleaning. I've walked properties with 15,000 customers and clients over the past, I don't know, 15 years, a lot. And I've made a couple distinctions and I've broken it down to 5 things, and I have some notes, and let's get right into it. Number 1 is the assumptive close. The assumptive close. That is always assume. Don't talk like you want the job. Talk like the job is already happening. Assume that you've already got the job if it's qualified and it's the job that you want and at the price you want, and all those other things are in place. But especially when you're meeting with the customer in person on their property and you're walking around with them, pointing out things in their home, or they're pointing out things that want to be done. And this could be $500. It could be $15,000. Assume that the job is already yours. And there's 5 things. This is the first one of 5. I'm Keith Kalfas. My videos have helped start over 10,000 businesses since 2014. And this is what I love doing. I have my own service business in Michigan. And so I love just inspiring people. So the assumptive close is, let's say you qualify a customer over the phone and you walk around their property with them. You're giving them a quote. I mean, literally, if it's landscaping, because I sell landscaping, if this customer is pointing out something with the garden bed, let's say there's a garden bed on the side of their house and they want it demoed, which means they want the entire thing removed and they want to turn it back into grass. That's a pretty popular thing lately because people want less maintenance. You think installing landscaping, that's popular. So is getting rid of landscaping. So what I literally do while the customer is talking, I'm listening to them. I'll bend down and I'll start literally grabbing the boulders and the rocks, and I'll tug on the lily of the valley, and I'll get my hands dirty right there on the spot. Like I'm ready now, and the customer can see me whether I'm doing the job or not, whether I'm there with my crew or they do most of the work and I get them started and then I leave, whatever it is. I start physically coming into contact. Like if they're like, the customer's like, yes, I want this, I want all these rocks excavated and I want them out of here. I'll actually put my feet and I'll start moving the rocks around with my feet. I've actually gone, hey, 1 second, customer. I'll go to my truck and I bring a shovel next to my measuring wheel and I'll start digging right there. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, I want to see how deep these rocks go, because if we're going to be removing them, I got to give you a proper quote. Like we do this every day. So you're assumptive. The assumptive close is almost showing results in advance. So when the customer can see you doing a quick, funny thing keeps popping in my mind. I had this buddy, Chris, who has a tree service, and it's funny to me. It's actually not funny at all, but I've gone with him on several tree quotes because we've done some tree work together when he does these big HOAs, and my company will team up with his, and I've come and trimmed trees with him or whatever. I've had a customer before that had way too big of a tree job for me to handle. And he came on the property, literally just met the customer, and he's like, literally, he's walking around. The customer is trying to talk to him. He's very professional, but he's walking around looking at the tree. Like this dude, he's pumped. Like you literally can see him in your mind taking this tree down. He's already taking it down as a head. My friend William taught me that. He's got a tree service business, very successful guy. He says, I'm already taking that entire tree down in my mind, right? And I see him do this with customers. And so you're just being assumptive, right? It's not being manipulative or anything like that. It's actually being more authentic by assuming the sale. So I could talk about that for a long time, but let's get on to step 2. Just practice being assumptive. It'll close you more jobs, a higher percentage rate. I see everybody here joining in right now. What's up? I'm Keith Kalfas, and you probably see me posting a bunch of videos all over here on social media. People are like, hey, who's that guy? Why is that guy laughing so much? Is he crying? This guy's pumped. It's me. All right, number 2. I'm pumped up. Sell outcomes, not tasks. This should seem obvious, but sometimes it's called the elusive obvious, right? So homeowners don't care about like the mulch depth or the blade angles or the pruning techniques. They don't care about any of that stuff. They want the result. I recently sold a landscape job. It was like $7,500. and the husband and the wife, they're outside, so they're spouse couple. If they're there during the quote, you want them there together, making decisions together if they both make the decisions, right? But anyways, they looked at me and they said, "Well, do you think that this is going to look good?" And they're looking at all their neighbors' landscaping. We basically ripped out the front garden beds and we put in new garden beds, new racks, new edging, a couple new plants. And I said, and I was serious. This is not being manipulative. Like, this comes from hundreds of landscapes installed, blood, sweat, and tears. I said, I mean, if you're really going to go with that black anthracite rock, there's 17 different types of decorative stone. I have no doubt it's going to look sweet. Like, I don't even know. I can't. Let me try to repeat it. I said, it's definitely going to look sweet. I said it because I was actually there. The way I said it was so believable because I was just telling the truth. I'm like, it's definitely going to look sweet. Like, I mean, compared to all your neighbors, like, it's going to look crispy, dog. I didn't say that. But in the moment, because I wasn't trying to impress them or anything, I was just speaking the truth that it's definitely going to look sweet. Something transferred. Selling is a transferring of a feeling, right? The husband and the wife looked at me and they felt my sense of certainty when they said, "Well, do you think it's going to look good?" Or, I was like, "It's definitely going to look sweet." As soon as I said that, they both are like, "All right, bet, let's do it." And the job was sold, and I did the job and made it exactly the profit margin I predicted. It was exactly a 50% gross profit margin. Not a big deal. It wasn't a huge job or anything, but when you've put in enough reps in your business and you've made enough failure, frustration, and mistakes, that's how you can start doing the $12, $15, and $20,000 jobs. There's people that probably are watching right now who do $50,000 jobs, $100,000 jobs. You work your way up to that point, right? So when you sell a customer then outcome, not task, you're not talking about, they don't care about the tasks. They don't care about what species the blood good Japanese maple tree is, or how you're going to, how the weeping mulberry comes from a Michigan certified nursery. So therefore the survivability rate of the plants is better when you put Mike's transplant fertilizer in it, and you make sure that the caliper of the tree matches the digging depth of this. And they don't even care about that. They just want it to look sweet. Right. So you're talking about the outcome is like, dude, this is going to be fire. You would talk like that to customers. I joke like this in my videos, but I don't talk to my customers like that ever. That'd be disrespectful. I don't even do that even to get them. Maybe if I had a customer for a long time, I might joke a little. Actually, I do have this one customer. He's been my customer forever. I'm in his standing in his garage. You want a Gatorade, bro? You want a Gatorade? He's real cool, right? He works out too. This dude is 54 years old. I said, "Bro, you look like you've been working out, bro." "Well, a little bit. I said, "Right now, you and me, let's do push-ups right here on the cement." I'm his landscaper. You know what he did? You don't challenge another man. He looked at me, he goes, "Right now?" I said, "Bro," I said, "How many push-ups can you do?" He go, "Dude, I could crank out he said I did 72 the other day nonstop. I know I'm digressing. Just give me a second. I said, "Really?" "Oh yeah, I'll prove it right now." I said, we dropped down, bro. I pumped out. I think I did like 45 push-ups, and then I stopped. I was like, "Whoa!" He's still going. He was 54 years old and did 78 push-ups and smoked me right there in his garage. He got up. He's like, "What now?" Man, I love landscaping customers, bro. You wouldn't do that to a brand new customer. That'd be pretty stupid. All right. So 2 is sell outcomes, not tasks. You talk about what it's going to be sweet, right? Number 3 is the 2-option close. This is interesting. Now, you might put this into something called like well, I won't tell you this yet. I was going to say the decoy offer, but I'll tell you about that in a second. So I like to give them 2 options. One is like the primo Taj Mahal. Like, I mean, if you want all that done with this, and that, and all the bells and whistles, that'll be about 18,000. Or we can not do all that other crazy stuff and just make it look sweet, And I mean, I could literally do that for 12,000. Now, do you see the gap between 18 and 12,000? I didn't say 18,000 or 17,000. I didn't say 18,000 or even 15,000. I said 18,000 or 12,000. So what it does is it creates a vacuum. Now, when I was going to say decoy offer, it's kind of like when you throw out something, oh yeah, we could do all that for like, we could do this, this, and this for 64 grand. They're like, they know that you can do that. It positions your price, the price precedence, but also the value perception is higher. I just got off a Zoom call with my genius friend a couple hours ago, Joshua Latimer from War Plant Insiders, and he has the FRAP challenge, FRAP challenge, and he helps entrepreneurs make a lot of money, bro. And he was teaching me some of this stuff about the decoy offer. And like you said, every single service business should have, this is Josh saying this, should, and if you don't, you should create some type of high ticket offer, some type of really expensive thing, even if it scares you, because what it does is it up levels your identity and your belief in your own business, but it also up levels the identity of what your customers see and perceive you as. And it automatically makes you more money just because you have it. So that's your homework today, is create a really expensive thing or a really expensive package. If you just trim bushes and cut grass, create a whole property trim package for, you know, $3,500 or $5,500. We have a client, we recently did the whole property trim, which is I go from like, I say, hey, from 15 feet and down, we'll trim all the ornamental trees and shrubs on your property, pull all the weeds and maintenance everything, and we'll do everything and clean everything up. And it was like $5,600, right? And the customer, we also tied up some arborvitaes from the winter snow, but like the customer was like, yes. So just literally trimming bushes and trimming up ornamental trees and cleaning up a property was $5,600. It was a lot of work. But because you're not afraid to throw out that higher price that's not normal, there's a percentage of customers that will be like, yeah, we really need to get this work done. You'll be like, really? And then all of a sudden you do the work, and the 5,600, which if you're used to like little $200-$300 jobs, it's not little. I mean, it's all money. But I mean, in comparison, $200-$300 jobs or $500-$600 jobs. So you start landing jobs that are higher ticket, your identity upgrades. And so the two option closed and throwing that out there makes it available. Why are you cutting yourself off from more abundance? All you have to do is just invent it. You just invent it and speak it and put it in writing. You create the offer and you literally start making more money right away. It's more work, but it's more money, higher ticket, right? So another way to close. Next number is 4. Shut up after you say the price. I'm talking a lot right now, but with the customers, I do 80% of the listening, only 20% of the talking. I'm no sales expert. I just read a bunch of books from sales experts. I have so much to learn, right? But they say you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So listen twice as much as you speak. So it's really about asking qualifying questions. If a customer is talking, listen. And then when they finally ask for the price, I'm confident enough where I could just give them a price on the spot. Oh, yeah, that'll be $4,300 or $1,700, because I've just done the thing so much and made so many mistakes that every time I crunch the math on an actual calculator, it comes out to be within sometimes dollars. Sometimes I nail it down to within $10 just because you do it so much. But when I say shut up after the price, it means yes, to do this and this and this today will be $2,500. Or you can say $2,500. When do you want us to get started? Or $2,500. How does next Wednesday at 9 a.m. sound? Back to the assumptive close. So you say the price and shut up. Now, that was a long time I didn't talk, right? You're like, what's going on? Literally, if you just don't say anything, you're just chilling in your own presence. Sometimes the customers, they're still thinking about it. They're like, well, I really need to get this done, and the wife is upset. we're going to have this party in the summer and it's literally 2 weeks away. It's a little expensive, but what is it versus what? They're here now. They can literally do it. The husband might be like, Fran, or she might be like, Bob. And he was like, just have them do it. They're here now. Sign it. And you're not saying nothing. And they're like, all right, when can you do it again? Well, next Wednesday, weather permitting. Worst case, Friday. If we got a monsoon, the following Monday, but it's well ahead of time of your party, Mr. Johnson. You're going to clean up and do a good job? Have you read our reviews? We're a 5-star agent. Oh, man. Some of these customers I have laughed a little bit like this. And they're like, man, this guy's got a 5-star agency. So I'm sorry. My business now it's at the point where it's fun to me. Last summer was the most fun I've ever had in my business because I'm just not super attached to it anymore. It's not like I'm suffocating for survival. I played that for years, and that's how. Anyways, I've got gray hair now. Anyways, yeah. So shut up after you say the price, and it highly increases the chances of them saying yes. They just fall right into it because they want it done anyways. They called you. Always remember that. Whatever you do, landscaping, window cleaning, it's a luxury service. It's not like, please let me do your landscaping. I need some money. It's like, this is a luxury service. These people have BMWs in the driveway and they have a jacuzzi and they have a vacation home. Like they're not going to be out there climbing up a ladder, trimming 18-foot tall bushes or cutting like an acre of lawn. So next, number 5, excuse me, catching my breath, is oh yeah, you don't have to over-explain yourself too. But anyways, number 5 is control the frame. If you act unsure, they'll feel unsure. Okay. And if you're calm and certain, they'll relax. Okay. This is pretty straightforward. People buy certainty. And the scary thing about that is you could be wrong about something and be really certain. Like some people are so certain in their own stupidity. Like I've been certain and stupid about stuff before. I've never made any big mistakes in my landscaping business. I actually did take on I just posted about it here on Facebook a couple days ago. We did this asphalt seal coating. It was just a single driveway for like $1,400. It was like my first, second, or third year in the landscape business. I don't do that type of work, but a customer wanted it done. My friend who had done that several times before, he says, "Oh, I could do that. We could do it. It's easy. I've done it before." "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah." And he was so certain that I believed him. Bro, I was so scared. I stayed up all night researching. And we showed up. I bought all the materials. We fixed some repairs in their blacktop asphalt driveway. We seal coated some brick pavers after power washing it, and we re-seal coated an entire driveway to like brand new, fresh, shiny black. And it was like when it was done, it looked sweet. It looked really good. The customer was happy and paid us, but I was really scared, and I trusted I would not do something like this today, but I was in hustle mode, bro. So when you're scared and you need to make money, you like have an eviction notice and debt collectors calling you. I don't think you should never ever sacrifice like your integrity for money. And it's really interesting to me how some entrepreneurs will move forward and advance so quickly in their service business. Is this blind faith or trust? They're just believing in other people and subcontractors. Like there's something about my nervous system that, based off the experience of that day, I'm glad that job turned out good. I didn't do too many things like that. Like, what's another thing I did? Well, that window didn't smash and fall to the ground and break, but it almost did. I've had a couple close calls. When you're 20 feet up in the freezing cold, holding somebody's plate glass window, because we doing window cleaning on an unsafe ladder. I was holding this window cleaning, dual layer window. So I had to take the window out and I'm cleaning it 20 feet up in the air. The wind's blowing. I got frostbite. I'm up there freezing. I didn't actually get frostbite, but it's what it felt like. And then I tried to put the window back in this customer's mansion. It was probably like a $10,000 window. It wouldn't go back in. I couldn't get it back in. So I was up there for over 20 minutes on a ladder with my knees shaking and my whole body in total exhaustion. And I knew if I dropped that window, I would have to find a way to pay for it. I don't know how. And I finally got the window to go back in and to lock into place. And when I got down off the ladder, my whole nervous system was like, oh, why did I do that? Because I needed the money. I put my life at risk. I remember climbing around a lot of houses, 2 and 3 story houses over concrete up on an icy roof in the middle of the winter, cleaning out people's gutters with snow and ice, like 2 and 3 stories over concrete, shaking, terrified. I mean, to people who do this every day, it's not a big deal. To me, it was a big deal. I'm like, I will clean your whole 4,000 square foot house for, what was I do? Like $140 to $220. I need to get back on the plan here. So, here it is. Control the frame. Oh yeah, that's why I started saying all that, because if you're unsure and you're scared, some people start a service business and they're automatically confident. They're automatically so confident. They just like, yeah, it was my first year and I made 650,000, and in my second year I made 1.2 million. And I meet people sometimes like, yeah, we're doing 3.6 million. We got like 65 employees. Yeah, we're expanding into a second location. We can't fit in the first one. I'm like, bro, how long have you been in business? Oh, it's like my third year. I'm like, what? What about all the mistakes and frustration and failure and late night you can't sleep and the anxiety and you're laying in bed dripping and sweating bullets because you're terrified because you're literally biting off more than you can chew? What are you talking about? They look at me, they're like, that didn't even happen to me. It doesn't even occur to me. I'm like, it doesn't occur to you? No, I just get rich. I just get rich. You just get rich. That's how they talk, bro. I'm sick of it. So for me, it's it's like when you go through the iterations and you put in the reps, you finally get to the point where you're just confident because you've been through it so many times. Anytime you've gotten to a doozy or started going down the wrong path, you fixed it. You eat your mistakes. You come out of pocket, and you just know what to expect. So what that happens is it builds an undeniable stack of proof and confidence in your nervous system. Now, when you talk to the customer, you're just like, yeah, it's going to be like $3,000. We do that every day. They're like, $3,000? That's all? And you're gonna be like, that's all? What did you think it was going to be? They're like, I don't know, like $5,000? And I was like, and I'll be like, well, I don't know. That guy down the street might charge you $5,000, but for me, it's only $3,000. So you can pay me $3,000 and I'll probably do the same job as he'll do for $5,000. I might even do a better job. I don't know. He might do a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe he has better resources. He probably has more overhead. And the customer's like, are you crazy? Why are you like, so the customer is willing to pay you more money, but you're so confident that you're sticking with your price. So if the customer says that, like, I thought it would have been more expensive. What happens is when you're broke and you need money, you start getting terrified going, oh my gosh, this customer would have paid me more. Oh my gosh. And now you've like just ruined the whole experience of the job. When you're I feel it right now, even just talking about it, my whole body just went into that old fear mode. It's like when that switches and the script flips in your subconscious mind and your nervous system, and now you can give a customer a better price than somebody else and maybe even do a better job, hopefully. What I mean is like for your sake, you actually feel more confident in some weird way that you know what your price is and you know what it takes you to run your business, and you have a system that you're tweaking and working on, and you're in love with your own business and your own path of evolution, and you're on your own purpose, and you're still making the profit margins that you want to make. And then after the job is over, you might be like, huh, maybe I could charge a little bit more in this. But you don't tie that negative attachment to the job or to that customer. You don't let that leak out in front of the customer because it's unprofessional. And so the reason I'm saying all this is because you go through all these little different subtle nuances of experiences that train and condition your nervous system that your service business is a friendly or hostile place. It's a fun, exciting adventure, or it's a living nightmare. And I've been through a bunch of that stuff. And so, I don't claim to be the world-renowned expert. I have a lot of friends who are, and I have a lot of experience. So I hope that helps. That's 5 tips. I'll run through them real quick, and I'll jump off here. And then I want to say I have an invitation for you. Number 1 is the assumptive close. 2 is sell outcomes, not tasks. 3 is the 2-option close. 4 is shut up after the price. And 5 is control the frame. I'm Keith Kalfas at 8 p.m. EST. That's literally 15 minutes from now 14 minutes. I'm going live in my private group, the Untrapped Alliance. So we've been going live for over a year now in the Untrapped Alliance every other Wednesday night, where we talk about tools, actions, tips, tactics, strategies to make more money and market your service business. I have special guest experts on who are just phenomenally brilliant entrepreneurs that come on, and they teach our private group how to be better at business, how to make more money, how to market your business, how to it's just to this date, I think it's one of the most exciting projects I've ever done, and because it's also working. And we've got great feedback from our, I should say, students inside of it's not a student. I don't have a name for it yet. We have great feedback, and people love it. And people that are joining, they stay on for quite a while because you get instant access to all the replays. So as soon as you join, you get, I need some water, 1 second. Anyways, it's keithkalfas.com/alliance, ALLIANCE. I'll put it in the comments right here. And as a brand new member, you get your first 2 weeks totally free. And then if you decide to cancel before 2 weeks, you're charged nothing. And you can get in and literally take all of the lessons, download the workbooks and PDFs, and absorb millions of dollars in information that's actually actionable. It's not just information. It's really powerful stuff. And then if you decide to stay, then you become part of our monthly membership. So check it out, keithkalfas.com/alliance. I'm going to jump off here now. Quick shout out, John Watson, Mike Pasquale. Did I say your name right? MIJRR. I just want to say thank you. I listened to your ebooks, started my business because of you. Thank you. And you're very, very welcome, brother. Michael Taylor, really appreciate it. What's up, Bill Hall? Gracie is doing well. My doggy. Double duty, Jack of most. He says, me and my wife were able to leave our jobs last May and grow a 6-figure business. Our first winter time was an eye-opener. But we're excited for spring to come back around. Wow, congratulations to you and your wife, husband-wife team. That's an amazing experience. And I could just feel by the vibration of your message that things are going very well. And I'm so excited for you, and congratulations. Total Tech, what's up? Esteban Terrio, Dilmar Perez, all around window washing. Purge It Out, PW of Utah, LLC, Elevate Lawn, Turf Cat, Omar, Salida, Sebastian, R. Ramos. All right. I'll see you in the group if you want to join. You got 10 minutes, keithkalfas.com/alliance. Take care. And you can also catch us on the Untrapped podcast. We just crossed 1 million downloads on Apple and Spotify, the Untrapped podcast.